Okay, back to business here, and again, another nice shot. I believe this was taken out the pilot window of the arm as it was being moved on the MT. As you know, after we handed off the truss, the S6 truss today, we had to move the MT downstream, and that was a nice shot there.
This is what's called the NLP vaccine experiment, and I've got 8 of these little canisters that have a bunch of test tubes inside them that have a couple of different biological specimens and agents, and I activated it a few days ago, and at this point I'm going to deactivate it, which is turning this crank. It moves the pressure plate and injects a reagent that stops the reaction inside. So I inspect it and then move that pressure plate with this hand crank, inspect it again, shake it a little, and put it away. And I'm pleased to report that all 8 of these canisters were intact, and it looks like we've had a successful experiment.
And what we really like is for Mr. Bob Berenson to get a good shot of that picture to show how well that John's got that mid-deck button up, just like we practiced in Building 9.
All right, so John got the S6 out of the shuttle payload bay and turned it around and handed it to Joe and I. So now Joe and I get a crack at flying the shuttle's robotic arm with the S6 truss attached. Most of our modes ended up being automated, but so we spend most of our time watching the computer programmed robotic arm moves, making sure it's going just where it is. But it was still a big thrill to have the S6 truss on the shuttle robotic arm, and we're moving it over to the starboard side of the station so we can hand it back to John with the station's big robotic arm.
Here's our new Expedition 18 crew member, Koichi, proudly assuming the pose here in the Japanese lab, right in front of the Japanese flag. Koichi is very proud to be there, and we're proud to have him aboard on Expedition 18. A shot of Sandy, and Sandy and Mike have got a lot of work to do during our dock time frame on the UPA, and in here what Sandy's doing is taking some samples from the portable water dispenser, the PWD, and Sandy and Mike will be working together quite a bit here over the next 6 days, doing a lot of work there before we undock. Actually, that water, yeah, it looks a little yellowish, but it's heavily loaded with iodine.
And of course, tomorrow's our big day, going ahead and attaching the S6 truss. So here's Ricky and Swanee getting their suits ready. We did a complete tool configuration and audit, and just making sure everything's in place for tomorrow. And as you can tell, they're really happy to get that thing going.
Another thing that we did today, Mike Fink and myself, was to run through the procedure to begin O2 transfer from the shuttle to station. So that's Mike and I are taking care of that business right now. Actually, I said wrong before, but this is actually the shot that was out of the pilot window, showing where the MT translated to, so that John could then re-grapple the truss segment.
Okay, this was actually, luckily quickly. You're nearing the end. This was just shot a few minutes ago. We were getting the EVA guys, Swanee and Ricky, on their masks to start their camp out. They'll breathe through those masks for about an hour to, of course, purge the nitrogen from their system, and then we'll get them in the airlock, close the hatch, and drop the pressure down so they can spend the night at a little bit lower pressure to